Everyone, welcome back! We're going to go ahead and get started with our candidates who are going to be speaking tonight. First, from Buren, running for City Council, Charles Schaefer!
Alright, thank you. I'm Charles Schaefer, running for Buren City Council, position 1. Mike? Hello? Okay, great. Running for Buren City Council, position 1. So far, we've got a month left for filing, and we've already had 8 candidates filed for 4 positions. But none of them are running against me yet, and I hope to keep it that way. So I've actually been going around to the Democrats and Republicans, you know, trying to get along with them. But it's so nice to be here at a Libertarian event when I can say things like taxation is theft, and people don't think I'm crazy, right? So I'll just get into a couple of points on my platform. The main thing I'm running on is community engagement. Because the current council, some of them talk about community engagement, but it's really clear that they only want to hear from people that agree with them. And, you know, so I'm looking at different ways that we can look at changing the council process to make it so, like, anyone can show up and talk to them. And one of the things, and this is a suggestion I've taken from another council candidate that I'm getting on board with, it's nothing about us without us. And what that is when the council's considering any new law or any new policy, they have to reach out to people that are going to be affected by that and talk to them. So like if they're considering a business tax, they have to go talk to business owners, invite them in, hear how that tax is going to affect them. So I think that's a great idea. I actually got some feedback from a conservative who is allegedly small government, right? But he was upset because he thought that this would make it more difficult to pass laws. Well, that's kind of the point. That's kind of why I'm going for it. So one of the other issues I'm concerned about in Buren is all the waste that goes on in our government. So we're going to do a quick activity here. Show of hands. First of all, show of hands if you know where Buren is. All right, I got some hands. Now, keep your hands up if you know that we just recently changed our city logo. All right, it's hard to see because of the light, but I think there's 1 or 2 people that do know that.
There's a few.
Okay, so now keep your hands up if you're actually going to go to Buren and spend money because of the new logo. Anyone? Any hands? Bueller? Anyone? Okay. See, that's what I thought, right? So yeah, we just put $250,000 into a new city logo under the pretense of economic development. And you know, basically what we ended up with was just a more modern version of the current logo, which you'd think that's not worth $250,000, and you're right, but it is better. It is better than the other. Yeah, light rail. There you go. It is better than the other option we had, which was the letter B in a blue circle. I'm not even kidding. I'm not even kidding. Yeah, we looked that up, and there's actually a restaurant somewhere called the Circle B, and we were worried that people might get confused. So, yeah, that's basically how things are going on in Buren, and, you know, I think we have the money to actually address some of the real issues like homelessness. I volunteer every week at a local ministry that serves the homeless, you know, so I'm concerned about that. You know, we don't need to raise taxes, right? I'm a libertarian. I know the taxation is theft, you know. So I just want to take the existing money and actually spend it on things that are going to bring back some benefit to the citizens of Buren. Finally, I'll just plug my Facebook page, Charles Schaefer Libertarian. You can go look it up and like, comment, and share, because there's another candidate who I think she's getting fake likes for her page, and that's a map violation, right? I don't want to do that. That's fraud. So please go and like my page, and if you know anyone in Buren, tell them to support my campaign. Thank you.
Now, unfortunately, because of time constraints, we will have to limit our speeches a little bit. But I want to go ahead and bring up Paul Addis, who's running for City Council in Kent right now. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Paul.
Just give it a light. Just give it a light. Just give it a light.
All right, so I just spent half my speaking time getting up here. So I just want to say a little bit about my campaign down in Kent, Washington. We are the 6th largest city in Washington State, so I'm looking forward to being on the city council there. And what I'm doing with my campaign basically is I'm going to be running a positive campaign because I believe that liberty is the is love politicized? Basically, love says to the beloved, I want for you what you want for yourself. And that is what the libertarian philosophy says in the role of government and policy, is I want for you what you want for yourself, not trying to impose things on people. So what I'd like to do down in Kent is to bring ideas to the table, and I believe we can bring these ideas out in a way that is attractive to the average voter, to say we have ideas that you're not hearing, because our number one answer isn't always more taxes. In fact, we're very fiscally conservative. We think we can do better with the money that we have. Kent has a $300 million annual budget, so I think we can do a lot with that money. There's probably a lot of waste going on. So what I'm also going to be doing, not only bringing out good ideas and trying to package them in a way that's attractive to the voter, but also I want to really get involved in the community, because people, especially at the city level, they're voting for a person. So if you can, so Kathy and I, my lovely wife Kathy is right down there in the 5th row. Love you. And so we've been very involved in the community. We do a monthly homeless feeding called Kent Community Meals. We do a Kent Adopt a Street, where we clean up a section of road down there regularly. Kathy works with the Kent Hope. We donate to them as well. I've been involved in a lot of the Rotary events down there, doing backpacking stuff for kids, putting food in the backpacks for the kids. So just a lot of stuff, getting involved, going to a lot of city council meetings, Chamber of Commerce meetings, just getting to know the people. And that face-to-face, especially in a city race like this, that face-to-face networking is a great thing, because if it's not a presidential election this year. It's going to be low turnout probably. So meeting those people that are really active in the community, those are the ones that are going to be voting this year. So that's kind of the strategy that I have, is to meet the people, let them get to know me, let them hear my ideas, and win them over, and the word of mouth is going to get around. So I believe in a nonpartisan race like this, that's the strategy to take. And we all have big hearts. I know the people in here, the ones that I know, the ones that I know in the Libertarian Party, all have big hearts. So if we get out there and meet the people, they're going to love us. And when the people get to know us, they're going to want to vote for us. So win over the hearts, one-to-one, make those connections, give them your ideas. Your ideas are great, and they're not hearing these ideas from other people. So I want to thank y'all for being here and helping grow this party in King County. And I'll be down in Kent if you need me. Woo!
Thank you. Introducing, running for city of Seattle for mayor, Casey.
I'd like to share with you something that affects all of us. I call it the Seattle Politicians Playbook. And their strategy has been very effective, but it is at our expense. Step 1, behind closed doors, privately create a crisis. Step 2, come out of the shadows and publicly denounce the crisis. Step 3, with fear-mongering turned up to 11, solicit campaign contributions and raise taxes to fix the crisis. Step 4, repeat steps 1 through 3 with a new government-induced crisis. I am sick of this playbook, so I'm running for mayor of Seattle. My name is Casey Carlisle, and here are my 5 issues. Homelessness, cost of living, neighborhood autonomy, sanctuary status, and traffic congestion. I'm going to talk about each of them for just a bit. Homelessness. I want to dispel right now this rumor that libertarians do not care. Of course I care. I wouldn't be voluntarily dealing with the BS that comes with running for office if I did not care. The more money we are forced to throw at the homelessness problem, the more the homeless population will increase. Homelessness has been very lucrative for our city government, so it is they who do not care. Cost of living. In Mayor Murray's first 3 years of office, he increased the government workforce by 12%, and he has presided over 7 tax increases. The money needed to do that comes from us all, and affordability continues to decline. The increasing cost of living has been very lucrative, again, for our city government, so they don't care. Next issue, neighborhood autonomy. The city government picks and chooses which neighborhoods to host homeless encampments and which neighborhoods to target for upzoning. Large-scale developers absolutely adore this arrangement because they don't need to bother talking with you about it. I want the city government to have less power so that you have more. Issue 4, sanctuary status. Why do our city officials grovel to other levels of government? Let's do without Trump's federal funding, and let's have our city officials oversee our own immigration laws. Let's have our city politicians focus on our city. Crazy, crazy. I know common sense can be a buzzkill, so bear with me for just one more issue. Traffic congestion. Traffic and roads are bad because, say, fixing a pothole doesn't usually garner political praise. All right, our politicians, the ones we hire to focus on our city, would rather get together with the mayor of New York City. They'd rather focus on pipelines in other states. I want our city government to focus on the local basics, not on social engineering or other partisan projects. All right, so those are my 5 issues. Homelessness, affordability, neighborhood autonomy, sanctuary status, and traffic congestion. In closing, I want to share with you something else that has been increasingly frustrating. It's killing me, all right? Our city's damaging politics have metastasized into our local news outlets. For example, of the 9 mayoral candidates, the 3 with the most campaign contributions are the only 3 that the Seattle Times has chosen to report on. By the way, the reporting came first and the contributions followed. That is not a coincidence, that's by design, so I really need your help. I am in great need of your contributions. If you cannot afford to give, then please donate your time and help me get the word out. It's KC4Seattle.com, CASEYFOR Seattle.com. On Twitter, it's the same, at KC4Seattle. Thank you for your time and have a good night.
Woo, woo! I want to introduce Amanda Carter!
Thanks, Amanda, this rocks! Ow! Woo!
Well, thank you. That's exactly where I was going to start. First, thank you to everybody in LPKC. We pushed through all hell the last 2 weeks to bring this all to you guys, so I hope you give a round of applause to everybody in LPKC.
Woo!
And then also, I'd like you guys to give a round of applause to yourself, because really, we couldn't do any of this without you guys. Come on. So I have to tell you, before insomnia and caffeine completely took me over at the beginning of this week, I had meant to have this really nice whiteboard animation and everything that I was going to put up and make this really sweet show, but that didn't happen. So I'm going to need your guys' help in just imagining like this happened. Pretending it's all the way up there. And so, what I'm going to need you to do, you and I are going to create a little delusion together. That's one of my favorite ways of saying it. So what I'm going to need you to do, just briefly, close your eyes for me. And I want you to picture in your mind the most powerful tool in the world, maybe even in the universe. This weapon is so powerful, it has the potential to create the most profound beauty and the most absolute destruction. It's so powerful, in fact, that it's both the mother of all weapons and the catalyst of every future birth. It's so powerful, it can start wars and bring peace. It can light the fires of passion, and then it can also create endless torture in the soul. Can you see it in your mind's eyes?
Yes!
Well, what do you see?
Government. The Death Star. Moab.
Right? Mother of all weapons, right? Well, actually, it's you. And more importantly, it's your faith. It's not necessarily your spiritual faith, although that can have some part of it. It's the faith that drives you. It's the faith that causes you to act, to come here to places like this, and to reach out for the improbability of obtaining true liberty as if it's already in your hands. Because it really is. It's already in your hearts. It's what drives you to keep going every day with an unshakable trust in the ultimate good, not just in yourself, but in everybody in the community. And that's what brings me to what I really wanted to share with you. It's really just a simple idea. And I hope that you'll take it out and share it with your community in your own ways. And it's the idea that libertarianism is not just the party of principle. It's also the party of love, inclusiveness, bravery, empowerment, realism, tenacity, and yes, ability. That's liberty, and it rocks. And it's my greatest hope that you and that we can carry on this vision together. A vision of the evolution of politics and the empowerment of our local communities, starting with each individual. That if we can carry this together, I know that we can evolve politics beyond what we have now. And we can look for the places where we're already strong together with the Democrats, the Republicans, even the Socialists, because there are places where we are strong together. And if we build the bridge on that instead of building more walls, we can have everything that we want without putting anyone else out of what they want. And, you know, just to give you a background on me, I mean, I'm not particularly I'm not particularly special. I've done so many things, and I'm a master of nothing. What do you call it?
Jack of all trades, master of none?
A Jane of all trades. But yes, you know, I've done some event planning. I used to plan events here at the Columbia City Theater 10 years ago when I just had a strange idea to take my own band out and work with other local bands and connect. And from that, I built an event planning business, which is how I knew how to put together most of this, with a few modifications for having a nice political event. But I mean, honestly, I'm a mom of two. I am not rich. In fact, I'm often stuck in the welfare trap. And I really feel like that might give me a little bit of a step towards helping connect communities and helping to adjust how people view us as libertarians. And it's with that that I'd like to announce that I am going to run for the Seattle City Council position number 9. And we'll see how it goes. And just, you know, if nothing else, I know that this year, if we can do nothing else, we can help change the image of how people feel about libertarianism and show them that liberty really is about empowering them and coming together as a people to be freer, to be less restrained, and to be more peaceful. Thank you.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for coming out. We appreciate everyone that was able to speak. Unfortunately, we did not have as much time available as we wanted to. Our apologies from King County for that. You are all very important, and I owe you all an extremely good interview, which I guarantee you will get anyways through LCI.